Hello guys, how are you? I hope you're doing good. Okay, in this video we're going to continue to learn something else about programming, robotics and control systems. Okay, so in previous presentation we already saw the difference between an automatic system or a simple machine, more complex one like a robot. Okay, we defined what is an automatic mechanism. That is something that performs an activity without the human intervention. So we have a very simple one like a toaster, for example, or we have a little bit more sophisticated like a modern washing machine, or even robots. Okay, so in previous presentation we learned the difference between a robot and an automatic machine, but today we're going to study a control system, or how a robot or an automatic machine is controlled. So it doesn't matter we're talking about just a machine or a robot. So in general, depending on how sophisticated the machine is, we have different elements. Basically, we have a control system like a microprocessor or something like that. We have actuators and we have sensors. Okay, a sensor is an element that transforms a physical variable into an electrical signal. For example, when we have an LDR, we can transform the light signal into an electrical signal. Okay, we have many different sensors. We will see it later. We have actuators that are the ones that transform electricity into a different type of energy. For example, like a motor or a heater. And finally, we have the microcontroller. Normally, it's a circuit that we can reprogram with different tasks. Okay, so in general, when we talk about control system, we have two main types. When we talk about simple devices, we have something called open loop system. En español sería un sistema en lazo abierto. Why? Because there is no sensor, so the system doesn't know what's going on in the surrounding. For example, in a open loop system, we have the input signal. We'll see later what's that. We have a controller, we have an actuator, and we have the output signal. For example, in a toaster. In a toaster, we can set the time for the bread to be ready. We say, okay, we're gonna have it 1 minute. We have a timer. The controller is just a timer or a clock. We have a resistor, that is the actuator, and that is heating the bread. And the output signal would be the heat. Okay, input signal is what we wanna have. How much time the toaster is going to be working, and the output signal is the heat we get. Okay, so you have a summary here. Input signal, what we're going to get. For example, instead of a toaster, we have a heater. Imagine that you have a heater in your room and you're going to get 20 degrees. So the output signal is that what you really get from the system. In this case, the hot air coming out the heater. Okay. Another example is when you have a watering system or irrigating system in your garden. You have a clock, and then you have the water here, the sprinkles. You set, for example, the input signal. You set the clock for the system to be working every day at 10 o'clock in the afternoon, for example. And you want the system to be working for 15 minutes. So this is something you set in the clock. So the sprinkles are working for 15 minutes every day. So it's a very simple system. It's open loop, but open loop system have a problem. They have a problem. So what happens if it's raining? Okay, imagine that you're not at home and it's raining a lot, and your watering system, your irrigating system is still working. Okay, even if the ground is flooded, right? So in this case, we use a different system that are called closed loop, sistemas en lazo cerrado, porque es como un lazo que se cierra. So in this case, we have a sensor. It's the key element now, that is getting information from the environment, is getting information from the surrounding, and is sending it to a comparator or the control system, and is comparing the desired signal with the real situation we have. Okay, for example, in our irrigation system, we have a humidity sensor. We have the watering. Okay, in the environment, what we have is water. So the humidity sensor is sending this information to an electronic circuit. Is comparing it with the required humidity level, and depending on how much humid the garden is, it will activate the sprinkle or it will stop it. Okay, so it's a smart system. This is more or less a scheme of a real one, in which when the ground has enough water, the system stops working. So it's a little bit more complicated, but it's more efficient. So as a summary, for example, in the irrigation system, the control that normally is together with the comparator, normally it's an electronic circuit like this one. The actuator in this case is a sprinkle, un aspersor. Okay, the process is what's happening is the watering, es el proceso de regar. And the sensor in this case is a humidity sensor. This is the aspect of a humidity sensor. Okay, so in general, the control system, what it's doing is comparing the desired result with the real one. The actuator is performing what we want to do. The process is what is actually going on outside, and the sensor is getting information from the surrounding. Okay, you compare the general scheme for a control system and the specific case for a irrigation system. You can compare in both cases every single element. Okay, so what is a irrigation system is getting information and is using this information to control the system. Okay, we have many different sensors depending on what the system we want the system to do. We have temperature, light, humidity, pressure, force, acceleration, position, etc. Okay, actuator, we have many different as well. We can use LEDs, bulbs, light in general. We have resistor for heating system, buzzers, motors, different type of motors. So it depends on what we want to get. So control system, we have very basic one, electromechanic system using relays. You already know after studying electronics. Or we can use transistors. Okay, this is a control system. Or more sophisticated and are the microprocessors that can be reprogrammed. Okay, so in the future, in the next videos, we will learn how to program, how to control this system. Okay guys, goodbye.